Hello YouTube, Freddy Cardona here, back again with another driving and the news video. The purpose of these videos is not really to entertain per se. There's a reason that I do these, and that's to record history so that future generations could look back, check out these videos, and listen to snippets of what was going on in the news on that given day. I listen to the news every morning as I drive to work, and I decided that starting in September 7th, 2022, I would record the trip, record my commute to work while I listen to the news and sharing that daily. And I thought that would be a really interesting thing. So these videos will gain more importance as the years go on, because you can go back, I don't know, say 6-7 years and pick a date where a video is available. And usually they are available Monday through Friday, with the exception of when I do not go to work. I may do a static video or a stay-at-home video where I record the news and just use a graphic instead of my driving. Those don't get very many views, but that's okay, because we're not doing this for the views. We're doing this for history. All right, guys, let's get you into the news.
Well, for starters, we offer first-class features like Android Auto, which you can play in the available...
And of course, we start with the commercials, but in about a minute, you'll get the news here.
Very high-end. We added available heated front and rear seats. Even the steering wheel heats up.
Comfort is big right now. Also, it's flooded with natural light in here.
And it's got modern conveniences too, like available wireless device charging.
Another thing I like to do is to call out gas prices so that future generations can see what gas prices were on this day. And it's $3.19 regular, $3.25 credit, and $3.59 diesel here at the Jersey Gas. On Sunday, it's 5 cents off here on the corner of Lakeview and Crooks.
See your local Hyundai dealer today. Call 661-615-2112 for offer details.
WINS FM and HD1 New York.
All right, here we go. Headline news.
On the free Odyssey app.
Yeah, it's going to be very hot and humid today. It's already, the real feel's already 84. Hazy sun, some clouds, a thunderstorm or two this afternoon into the early evening. Could be some flash flooding, damaging winds and hail. Yeah, the high's 87. AccuWeather real field temps well into the 90s by late morning. More people get their news from 1010 Winds than from any other radio station in the nation. Sharon Barnes-Waters is our service aide. Justin Schrager at the editor's desk, and I'm Ashok Kabbalah.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Winds at 92.3 FM, New York.
Good morning, 78 degrees. It is 8 o'clock on this Tuesday, July 18th. I'm Susan Richard, and here's what's happening. The weather in a word today, blech, super uncomfortable. We'll check in with AccuWeather. Got to schlep back to the store to get another lottery ticket. No winner in the Powerball jackpot. Staten Island Ferry now back to normal service. The Gilgo Beach probe taking investigators to a storage cage in Amityville. And the feds looking at labels to help keep you cyber safe. We'll explain. In sports, Yankees lost to the LA Angels 4-3 in 10 innings. When's news time? 8:01. Traffic and transit with Karen Stewart.
In the Bronx, the westbound Cross Bronx near Westchester Avenue has an accident involving a tractor trailer. We've got the right lane blocked there, and we've got delays that go back to Castle Hill Avenue. The southbound Bruckner is delayed with the Sheridan from back to Castle Hill as well, and we've got northbound Bruckner delays off the RFK Triborough getting up into Lafayette Avenue, and we've got delays getting onto the northbound Deegan 2 into Grand Concourse off the inbound RFK Triborough Bridge. The bridge itself is busy, getting to the Upper East Side with very heavy traffic on the Harlem River Drive past the RFK. The inbound 59th Street Bridge is moderate at this point. The inbound Queens Midtown Tunnel has got you backed up to 58th Street on the westbound LIE, and the westbound BQE is delayed from Queens Boulevard into McGinnis Humboldt Street, with more traffic taking you from Flushing Avenue into Atlantic Avenue. In New Jersey, over at the northbound side of 21 at Prudential Center in Newark, we've got a disabled vehicle. The right lane's blocked, and as we check what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels of the Hudson's, 35 to 40 inbound Holland, Lincoln, and the GW Bridge. Jackpocket lets you order official state lottery games on your phone instead of waiting online. Mega Millions is now over $640 million. Use code RADIO for a free ticket. 18 or older. Gambling problem, New York? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. New Jersey, call 1-800-GAMBLER. See jackpocket.com/TOS for terms. I'm Karen Stewart. 1010 wins on 92.3 FM.
Okay, so basically it's going to be gross outside today, Dean.
Yeah, it's already that way. Susan, it's 80 degrees, and the AccuWeather real feel temperature at this hour, 8 o'clock in the morning, is 89 already. It's just soupy and humid and just incredibly warm. And that's the kind of fuel that any showers or thunderstorms that pop in here this afternoon, this evening, that's all they need to produce flash flooding type downpours. Also the potential for some gusty winds and some hail. It's not going to be as widespread as sun was, but it has the potential, if you get under one of these, to have some real problems with flooding on streets and highways and sidewalks, and then maybe some of the local streams. So we'll keep an eye on that. You want to stay tuned to 1010 Winds as we go throughout the day. We'll reduce the humidity a tad for tomorrow, but bring it back up for the last couple of days of the week. Thunderstorms will be back in for the forecast in that period, too. I'll talk about that in the 4-day forecast ahead, 10 minutes away on New York's weather station, 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM.
Another chance to strike it rich, and we're talking mega rich. There was no winner in last night's Powerball jackpot, and the mega is really up there as well.
Well, you don't have to be a math whiz to figure out we're talking about a lot of money here. Now, the Powerball drawing for tomorrow night, $1 billion, will be the third biggest Powerball prize ever. Mega Millions not too shabby either. $640 million. That drawing is tonight. So, as those like Muhammad get their tickets, they're dreaming what they would do with that money. He's actually pretty calm about it.
Take a break, look at how the world is, and at least start my own business, help those who I can help, and then move ahead.
He's a doorman saying, yeah, this money would certainly help speed up his retirement, as in retiring by Friday. Glenn Schuck, 1010 Winds, 92.3 FM in Midtown.
As we've been hearing from Karen Stewart in Traffic and Transit, Staten Island ferry service is back to normal. There were major disruptions due to too many people calling out sick, but normal service has resumed. Investigators still digging through stuff belonging to the Gilgo Beach suspect.
The police presence continues to be large here in Massapequa Park at Rex Heuermann's house, as the search for evidence is not only happening here on Long Island at this house and at 2 storage units in Amityville, but all the way to South Carolina to a property owned by the suspected serial killer's relative. So far, tons of guns were found, possibly hundreds of weapons, including in a metal vault in the basement of this red-colored small house on First Avenue. No word on when investigators will be leaving this area. Here is the mayor of the village, Danny Pearl.
We are all shocked that this monster lurked in the shadows of our neighborhood. Myself, as the village mayor, and my village board, we would love nothing more than to bring back the peace of our community and rid the neighborhood of any memory of this incident.
Heuermann is on suicide watch as he's being housed in the Suffolk County Jail. Sophia Hall, 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM in Massapequa Park, Long Island.
Hey, so if you've ever lost your luggage after flying out of JFK, or you got it but it was damaged, you are not alone. Forbes is out with its list of the worst airports for lost or damaged suitcases. Kennedy was number 1. Second worst, Miami International, followed by LAX, Norfolk International, and then Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood, Florida. Newark was 8th. Good news for LaGuardia, which was not among the 10 worst. 80 degrees now. The real feel's already up to 89. We have a mix of hazy sun and clouds. The humidity 74%. That's going to get even worse. The winds are south at 5 miles an hour. AccuWeather telling us uncomfortably hot and humid today. We are looking at more thunderstorms. This is this afternoon into this evening. And it could bring flash flooding, damaging winds, even some hail. Today's high 87, but those real feels well into the 90s. Winds news time 8:06. A key hearing today in the Donald Trump Mar-a-Lago documents indictment.
Trump's attorney and the special counsel Jack Smith both set to appear in court today to decide how secret records will be shared between the two parties as this case moves towards trial. Smith describing the hearing as a crucial step in their prosecution after Trump was indicted last month on 37 felony charges, which include unlawful retention of classified documents and the obstruction of the government's investigation. The former president has pleaded not guilty.
Correspondent M. Wynn. Separately, the state Supreme Court in Georgia has dismissed the former president's bid to shut down the investigation into Trump's alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 election results in that state.
The state high court objected to Trump's decision to skip the step of asking for relief from a trial judge. Unless a party can cite a true emergency, you don't get to leapfrog judicial levels and start at the Georgia Supreme Court. The justices found no evidence of an emergency.
ABC News legal analyst Royal Oakes. And then there's the civil suit against Donald Trump filed by his former fixer.
Michael Cohen, the former president's personal attorney, is suing in New York City for more than $1 million in legal fees he says he's owed by the Trump Organization. Judge Joel Cohen Monday started to weed out jury candidates with potential conflicts of interest. He asked, does anyone have strong opinions about Mr. Trump or his family? Some snickered. More than half raised their hands. His Honor says he felt like an auctioneer. The former president's not a witness in the trial, says the judge, but his son, Don Jr., might be. Chuck Severson, ABC News.
There's a settlement in a case related to double murderer Alex Murdaugh. The family of a teen killed in a boat crash, which prosecutors say began Murdaugh's financial downfall, will get $15 million from the convenience store chain that sold Murdaugh's underage son alcohol. Are you following this? This comes after the judge refused to allow the Parker's Kitchen chain to be separated from Murdaugh in a wrongful death trial next month in South Carolina. Murdaugh is serving a life sentence without parole for the 2021 killing of his wife, as well as the son who was involved in that drunken boating accident. If you're concerned about cybercrime, the Biden administration says it's got your back.
With everything from baby monitors and home security cameras to TVs and refrigerators now becoming connected devices, there are more opportunities than ever for hackers. Seeking to reassure consumers, the Biden administration today announcing its plan to create a label for certain electronics and appliances that would identify them as less vulnerable to cyber attacks. The White House says the U.S. Cyber Trust Mark will identify which products meet the U.S. government's cybersecurity requirements. Amazon, Best Buy, Google, LG Electronics, and Samsung are among the companies already on board. Dave Packer, ABC News.
More big names are joining actors and writers as they picket against the movie studios and streamers.
From coast to coast, there are now even more Hollywood workers on the picket lines, with SAG-AFTRA union members joining WGA union strikers. From actors like Kevin Bacon in New York City.
I just have to, hope that we're going to get a fair deal and that they'll come back to the table.
To writers like Jeff Astroff in Los Angeles.
It's costing me personally, it's costing, every single writer thousands of dollars and our livelihood. We're waiting for the studios to come back. If the studios want to end this tomorrow, they can.
They're asking for streaming residuals and protections around the use of AI.
It's Matt Piper. Congressman Adam Schiff joined the picket line and said, quote, too many people in Congress think that everyone who works in this industry is some multi-million celebrity. He said the reality is that most are just people trying to put bread on the table. An interesting rivalry at the box office this weekend.
Watching the bubbly Barbie.
This is the best day ever. It is the best day ever.
And the dark historical Christopher Nolan epic Oppenheimer.
This is a national emergency.
Back to back might not seem like something for everyone, but it's something for at least 40,000 people. AMC says that many people have booked back-to-back showings of the films this coming opening weekend. Unofficially, it's called Barbenheimer, and the internet is full of memes, even people selling merch. Know that going in, Oppenheimer's 3 hours and Barbie is 2, so that's 5 hours not counting previews. Now the big question, which do you see first?
You should stop by.
So cool. Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Hollywood.
Now this message, plus a Jewish community chapel, the only community funeral chapel in New York City. Wins News Time 8:11. Let's get traffic and transit on the ones with Karen Stewart.
We're going to the Bronx, where we have a bunch of things going on. The westbound Cross Bronx still has a tractor-trailer accident in Westchester Avenue. We've got the right lane blocked, and we are delayed back to Castle Hill Avenue, actually, now at this point. Southbound Deegan at 138th Street at the Madison Avenue Bridge. We've got an accident in the center lane. We've got slowdowns into the area, no doubt about that. And then over on the Bruckner, northbound at Hunts Point Avenue, we've got had an accident. The left lane is closed. There are northbound delays that go back to the RFK Triborough Bridge. In Brooklyn, the inbound Gowanus to the BQE eastbound is jammed, coming from Fort Hamilton Parkway and moving up into Atlantic Avenue. We're also kind of jammed on the northbound Van Wyck into Atlantic. On the eastbound LIE into Bell Boulevard with construction from back at Main Street. We've got alternate side parking rules and regulations in effect today, and here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. 30 minutes for the inbound GW Bridge with an accident blocking the right lane mid-span for the inbound George Upper. The Lincoln is 40. The Holland has a 45-minute delay. Traffic is sponsored by One Prostate Center. Our next report's 8:21. I'm Karen Stewart, 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM.
All right, guys, thank you so much for bearing with me with my drive to work as we're on the corner of Avenue E and Hancock Street. Join me again for the next Driving and the News video.